Time to talk some royal news now with our mate Russell Myers in the UK. Russell, commiserations on the cricket, but thanks for finding time to talk to us.
Well, let's not get too carried away with ourselves, Paul. There's an awful long way to go just yet. So let's keep calm and carry on in this instance.
I do not disagree. A 5-test series, so we'll all see what happens. All right. Now, before we get to the Harry and Meghan of it all, there's lots of other things to talk about with you, including, I tell you what, the PR machine that is Prince Louis and Princess Charlotte, they've got to milk that for everything it possibly can, because they have become sort of an event within events, including at Trooping in the Colour. People turn around and they sort of wait for the moment for these two to be impeccably behaved and poorly behaved at the same time.
Well, they do. I mean, listen, if you could bottle what they've got, they'd be selling it for a fortune, wouldn't they? Because every single sort of big event we've had over the last couple of years, everybody's sort of looking and waiting to see what Prince Louis gets up to next. I mean, we had, the theatrics on the balcony at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Then we had sort of the coronation concert. And now whatever next. I mean, listen, I love Prince Louis. I think in a very dark world sometimes, we all need a bit of cheering up, and he's certainly the antidote to a lot of what's going on. And certainly, we've had a lot going on in the royal family. We've had scandal, infighting, aplenty. And, these are the new generation, the new blood coming through, aren't they? So they may be pretty young now. I mean, George is just 9. Prince Louis is only 5 at the moment. But I think it gives you an indication of what the future holds and just how close those siblings are. And that can only be a good thing.
My youngest daughter, Zadie, is 5, and I can tell you what, if she had to stand still on a balcony for even 2 minutes, exactly the same reaction would be there. So good to know that there is uniformity and normality among 5-year-olds, regardless of what household you are being brought up in. Prince William, of course, is trying to find purpose and focus to his role as the Prince of Wales. And I think that his decision to try to elevate visibility and to try to fix homelessness is an excellent example of something that someone who has a lot should be doing for those that have so little. I think it's a great idea. This is exactly the type of cause I like people getting behind.
Well, absolutely. And listen, I can see the reasons why people might sort of, be a bit cautious with this, because sometimes people say that what sort on earth would Prince William or the rest of the royals know about such issues such as homelessness. But I think he's been pretty upfront in saying that, yes, we are very, very privileged. We have an incredible amount of wealth and privilege behind us. But yet, giving us an insight into those school trips, him taking his children to school every morning and seeing people homeless on the streets. He said that's something that he hasn't shied away from his kids. And he does explain it to them. And of course, that's something that they're going to have to tackle with as well. And just recently, in the last couple of days, we've heard about this new project that's going to be released next week. Kensington Palace saying that this is going to be his life's work. He thinks he can end homelessness. I mean, it's a pretty bold statement, but he's bringing together the people that matter, a lot of stakeholders, but a lot of jargon used. But I think once you get down to the nub of what he wants to do, is to try and make a real difference. And that's all he can do. He can only do his best in this instance. But if he's going to turn over to some of his estate into social housing, well, wouldn't that be an incredible gesture? And I can only applaud him for doing that. So really excited to see what this project holds.
Yeah, that's the key here, right? Which is, it's one thing, and we've talked about this before, about the need for the younger royals and certainly the next generation of the monarchy in William and Kate to show that it's not good enough just to do garden parties, very polite, appropriate for the generation at the time. It's not good enough just to turn up at a charity event as a way of raising awareness, but they have a capacity to be able to slice off some of their own personal wealth and personal power to change somebody's life and to actually show that you've got skin in the game. Because to me, when we're searching for what does all of this mean now, all of us, or the extreme majority of us, have only known one monarch, and we frankly know that Charles is going to be the bridge between the two, between grandmother and grandson. It's really important that William doesn't do it the way his dad did and doesn't do it the way that his grandmother did it.
Well, you're totally right. I mean, Charles is going to have, of course, a lot shorter run at it. And we already know what sort of a man he is, don't we? Already, we know he's passionate about the environment, architecture. We know he's met world leaders aplenty over the last 50 years. But William is just embarking on his journey, and we kind of now need to know what sort of a man he is going to be and what sort of a future king he's going to be as well. And talking about those conversations that he's had with these children already, I mean, you're talking, they're only sort of 9, 8 and 5. And those conversations are pretty hard to have with children, especially children growing up in palaces and used to socializing with kings and queens as it is. So what does the future hold for William and Kate? Well, it won't just be garden parties. It needs to be bigger events. Those conversations are already being had in society. What role does a monarchy have in a modern world? And they're acutely aware of that, of course. So listen, I think we just got to wait and see sort of how the dust settles after her late Majesty's passing. We've just had the coronation. Now we're seeing these big projects take hold, whether it's Kate with early learning with children, or whether it's William with homelessness. I think these are going to be live projects over the next few years that are really going to take shape. And, good luck to them.